and welcome to Trashy Trashy, where we take a dumpster dive on this week's garbage people and all the trashiest news stories. My name is Erica, and I am your host.
And my name is Cassandra, and I'm your other host. Hi.
Hi, how are ya?
Ugh, I'm doing so good. Right before we started recording, Erica and I were just telling each other how we make we make people around us happy. Not like she said you make it, and I said no you, and then we went you, and we decided it was we. Are we making you happy so far, listeners? Trash cans?
Do we make you feel good?
Yeah, do you feel good? Sorry, I made it weird.
Oh my goodness. Why are you trash this week?
So I took a little day trip this last weekend. Went to Orange County just to get out of LA. The plan was stop at a couple of breweries, get some takeout beer, go to parks, drink, whatever. Just don't be in LA. And so while I was in Orange County, I was in Anaheim because there's a lot of breweries there. If you don't know what Anaheim is, it's the city that Disneyland is in, and also the city of which I was born. Born in Anaheim. And so I was like, oh shit, we should go to the hospital that I was born at, and I'll take a picture out front and I'll send it to my mom and my brother, whatever, they'll love it. So I went over and we pulled over at the hospital, and I I needed one that said the hospital name and Anaheim. So it happened to be the Kaiser ER entrance. It was Kaiser of Orange County, whatever, ER this way. So I'm standing in front of an ER sign, holding up a peace sign, hee whatever, thinking, oh my God, people are gonna love this. So I send it off to my family, and I'm like, hey, look. And then my mom was like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you what's wrong? Why are you at the ER? And I'm like, no, Mom, look, I'm at the ER in Anaheim. Why? What's wrong? Is someone in the ER? I'm like, no, I was born here. I was just showing you the hospital where I was born. She's like, okay, well, I'm looking at this on my watch. I'm just making sure you're not there because someone is hurt, right? And I'm like, no. So I'm a fucking idiot. Did not take the temperature on how that photo was gonna land.
We're just in a global pandemic.
I know. So, in retrospect, and especially telling the story, I hear how stupid it sounds. Just hi, cheese.
Just have the
ER.
baby.
Yeah. What the fuck? Ugh, whatever. Why are you trash this week?
Well, I have a historical trash. In
Mm.
high school,
Mm-hmm.
my group of girlfriends would always somehow find whole groups of guy friends from other towns to hang out with.
Convenient.
Pretty standard. You'd pair up an attraction, and who was the best basketball player always seemed to go together, and then it would just tinker down.
That's the law. I understand.
With who got whom. And one night we were hanging out with these boys from the rival towns, and we decided to go to Woodlawn Cemetery.
Oh no.
Which is allegedly a haunted cemetery. And what you have to do is touch the tree at the very far end and prove that you went to Woodlawn Cemetery. That's how you couldn't say you went unless you touched the tree at the very far end.
Meaning that you went through the entire thing.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So I'm going somewhere with this. So we're hanging out.
I mean, I'm on the edge of my fucking seat. I'm terrified.
We're hanging out uptown, which is what we would call the parking lot of one of the convenience stores. Because you had town, you had the city, and you had Lawton. So basically, you would say, "I'm going to town," meant you were going to Sterling, my hometown. "I'm going uptown," meant you were hanging out in the parking lot. And then it was "I'm going to the city," meant you were going to the big city.
Which is Tulsa?
Oklahoma City.
Oh, okay. Word.
Yeah. So it was a big deal if you were ever going to town or the city,
Okay.
So we're hanging out, and there's this adult hanging out uptown. And let's call them Renegade.
Oh, shit.
That's not their real name, but that's what we'll call them for protection purposes. Not that they'll ever listen to this podcast.
You could have went John or Clark or anything, and you went Renegade. Okay, cool. Got it.
Renegade. So,
bunch of teenagers and Renegade in a parking lot. Understand.
Yep. Setting the scene. And so we tell them we're going to Woodlawn. Bye. So my little sister, who is 5 years younger than me, is hanging out with us as well. And so we're like, are you sure you want to go to the cemetery? And she's like, yeah, it'll be fun. Whatever. I'm with the cool kids. So we go.
She was in middle school and she was that confident?
Yeah.
Jesus.
She also had a crush on one of the boys that was,
Of course.
8 years her senior. And so he was nice to her and she loved it. It was cute. So we go to
8 years?
Probably. I mean, like 18
So there was a full-blown adult. Okay. Whoa.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I'm not going to get caught up on this. It's the country.
It's the country. He was nice to her, so she was like, ooh, swoon.
Okay.
So we go to the cemetery, and I am like feet away from touching the tree. And we hear a shotgun.
No.
And so we all immediately sprint back to the cars. And shimmied underneath one of the cars was Cowboy. He like drove separately.
Cowboy? Who's Cowboy?
Oops. Shit. Renegade.
What?
So the shotgun goes off. We all sprint back to the cars, and Renegade had climbed underneath one of the cars and locked all of the doors to the cars and trucks.
How the fuck did he do that?
He's Renegade. He like just locked them and made sure the keys weren't in them. And so we're all trying to get into our cars and trucks, and we're scared as shit because we think we think somebody's out to get us. And then Renegade comes laughing out from underneath a car and is like, gotcha, bitches. So hanging out with an adult that would do a shotgun prank, I think is pretty trashy on my part.
A shotgun prank and also some sort of wiring to lock all the doors of the car prank?
No, it's like manual car doors, where you just
How
pop
did he
them down.
get in?
They weren't locked.
Ugh, and who had the keys?
He put them in the tailgates of the trucks.
Wait. Oh, Jesus, fuck. So there's just no way that like my city life was just so like up in bustle that I'm crazy to think. So you guys go to a haunted cemetery, keys in the ignition, leave the doors unlocked. Don't worry, we're just gonna go touch this tree and come back. Hey, Erica, is your 10-year-old sister with us? All right, let's go. And then a full-ass adult Renegade Cowboy is like, great, I knew they would do that. And fucking takes all the keys, locks all the doors, hides under a car, shoots a gun. Okay. Yeah, that's trashy.
It's pretty trashy. And the boy that my sister was walking next to, her crush, abandoned her. He just took off running. He didn't grab her or anything.
Well, Erica, you had me when you said that the best basketball players got paired up. I don't understand how the oldest guy got paired with the youngest person.
Well, it was like my cousin, him, my sister were in a group walking.
So he was paired with your cousin?
As well, yeah.
So he got two.
He got two first.
Two curries.
Yeah.
And then he left them both.
He hauled ass.
Who were you paired with?
I don't even remember. Probably the dumb one.
No, Erica, you don't get paired with the dumb ones, do you?
I would get paired with the dumb ones because I could make conversation with anybody, so I just led the conversation.
Wow. Speaking of conversations, do you want to get into our first story?
Yeah.
Before I ask way too many questions about that, because I have a lot. I honestly don't even know why we talk about the news. I kind of just want to, we should start a separate podcast called City Girl Cass Figures Out What the Fuck Happened in Erica's country ass lifestyle.
It was pretty unique upbringing.
Like, you should write country music.
The shotgun went off at the cemetery.
Like, I always thought, I'm like, oh, country music, the lyrics are weird. Like, this is a weird thing. But now I'm like, maybe I'm weird. Maybe my, I'm unique. And this is normal.
No, nothing I did growing up could be described as normal.
Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, according to NPR.org, a real ass site.
We're starting off with journalism up front.
Yeah, this just in. Oh, this is actually a great story. An 8-year-old calls out NPR for lack of dinosaur stories. Someone needed to do it.
Yeah, it's about time somebody stood up. And you know who did? Little Leo Schindler.
An 8-year-old from Minneapolis.
Recently pointed out a big problem with NPR's oldest news show, All Things Considered.
He wrote a letter to the station. Now, should I do it in a little boy voice?
Of course.
Hi, my name is Leo, and I'm 8 years old. I listen to All Things Considered in the car with my mom. I listen a lot. I never hear much about nature or dinosaurs or things like that. Maybe you should call your things Newsy Things Considered, since I don't get to hear about all the things. Or please talk more about dinosaurs and cool things. Sincerely, Leo.
Round of applause.
Thank you.
Leo has a point. All Things Considered is about to turn 50 years old. NPR's archivist found the word dinosaur appearing in stories 294 times in the show's history. By comparison, Senator has appeared 20,447 times.
To remedy the situation, All Things Considered invited Leo to ask questions about dinosaurs to Ashley Post, a research associate at the San Diego Natural History Museum. Leo wants to be a paleontologist when he grows up. Is that not just a fucking nice story?
It warms my heart. I wanted to be a paleontologist when I was little.
Really?
Yeah, I would go digging in the cow pasture thinking I was going to find a fossil and that I could it would be a new species and then I would get to call it the Currysaurus.
Oh my god. That's so sweet.
I got in trouble for digging up holes where the cows would jump in a hole and break its ankle or something. So my dreams were squashed.
Do you, or is this just me? Do you burst into tears when you read nice stories sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Like, I just read the Cliff Notes on this one because I knew if I read the whole one, I probably would have cried. There was one that got me real good, like inconsolably. I couldn't function. It was about a man who used to play baseball. And then he went off to work a blue collar job, and then now he's retired, and in the pandemic hit, and so he just wants to play catch in baseball again. And so his wife put on Facebook, does anyone want to come play catch with my husband? And so many people said yes. And so then he started warming up and practicing, and then just all these people just came and played catch with it. I'm I've had enough time to process it, but this story just knocked me on my ass. I was weeping.
Yeah.
I like a nice story, man. I really do. We should probably switch to a really not nice story.
We should probably. According to Complex.com, Riff Raff challenges 6ix9ine to $2 million boxing match. See you in the ring, you little mosquito.
Who challenges who?
Yeah, exactly. C-list rappers.
Riff Raff. Oh, he's the guy.
James
James Franco guy. How does he even have $1 million?
You'd be surprised. I feel like we're going to get hate for talking shit on Riff Raff.
I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm just simply asking a question. Riff Raff took to Instagram Monday to challenge 6ix9ine to a fight with a $2 million prize. The rapper felt compelled to call out 6ix9ine. Is 6ix9ine is Tekashi 6ix9ine?
Yes.
That's his full name? Okay. After watching footage of the confrontation between 6ix9ine and Meek Mill outside of an Atlanta club early Sunday morning. While security prevented them from throwing hands, the two still hurled insults while recording each other with their phones. One time I was at the Glendale at the Americana, and I saw the Cash Me Outside girl there, Bad Baby, and she was getting in an argument with some random young girl, and I was like, oh shit. But I didn't record, I just walked away.
Oh my God. That's like a dream of mine, is to walk up into a confrontation like that.
Yeah, it was pretty tight. It was just like, the thought crossed my mind to record, but then I was like, no one's going to my socials for this.
That's why you gotta sell it to TMZ.
Oh, shit. I know I blew it. You're right.
Meek Mill explained his side of the story on Twitter, saying 6ix9ine was waiting for him outside of the club. We did not run into each other. I was getting in my car and he just popped out. We almost was smoking on that 6ix9ine pack for the love of a viral moment. He trying to get something locked up, no cap, LOL. Meek wrote. Meek was released from prison in 2018 following a nearly 5-month stint for violating probation.
Okay, so it sounds like Meek Mill was mad and was saying Tekashi's trying to get killed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No cap, LOL.
Yeah. Because I genuinely want to understand, so I'm just making sure I do. I'm not trying to sound any type of way other than open curiosity and trying to figure out what's happening. So Riff Raff believes that the Gooba rapper intentionally tries to pick fights with real artists that have police records, to where if they were to kick your ass in a parking lot, then they would go to jail and fuck their money up. Oh, that's an interesting accusation.
Don't fuck up the bag. That's the one thing I know.
I mean, this Tekashi 6ix9ine doesn't seem like, the best guy.
No, he's really not. And he's also served his time in a penitentiary for heinous acts.
Yeah. So fuck this guy. Riff Raff is also accused 6ix9ine of stealing his look, which included rainbow-colored braids and shark grills. And Riff Raff has won lawsuits like this before because he filed a $10 million lawsuit against the producers of Spring Breakers because James Franco looked like him, even though the character was based on him, or no?
I mean, loosely based on him. The rapper's name, or the character's name, was Alien. He looked like Riff Raff.
Exactly. Like, it makes sense that he won that lawsuit. Maybe that's where the money is coming from, is that he's sued the shit out of this movie for not getting permission to, steal his likeness.
I mean, I know this sounds insane, and I'm sure when it happens, I will fight it tooth and nail, but I cannot wait until somebody writes me into a movie in some way.
Really?
Just knowing how many writers and screenwriters I know, I hope that I've made an impression to where someday somebody's going to, work an Erica Curry into their script.
Even though you just said you'd fight it?
I mean, when I see them making millions, I'll probably fight it. But right now, I'm like, what an honor.
Sure.
What an honor. I mean, Cassandra's written parts for me, I feel like, in the past that I've embraced. But to have something that's on, like, a movie screen.
Those were based on you.
Yeah.
That angry homeless woman in a parking garage who spits in someone's mouth, that was you.
Yes. That was 100% me.
Do you think they should fight?
No. I don't want to give 6ix9ine any more attention than he already has. And I don't want to fuck with Riff Raff.
Yeah.
This is like a Jake Paul situation for me, where I'm like, I don't even want to see you get beat up. I want to see you be ignored.
Oh, man. You know whose Instagram just makes me hornier than hell lately?
Our next story?
Yeah. Martha Stewart. Have you seen her Instagram?
Yes. I posted one of her birthday photos on my Instagram. Like, it was worthy of a repost.
She's doing the most. And, just, holy fuck. Okay, so according to Town and Country Mag, which I love that we're taking stories from there, Martha Stewart was kicked out of her country club for launching a line at Kmart.
I was too down market, Martha Stewart said.
Martha Stewart suffers no fools, but that does not mean fools haven't tried. Back in 1997, the domestic goddess experienced one such incident when, after purchasing Martha Stewart Living back from Time Inc., she inked a deal with Kmart to launch a line of branded towels and linens. I remember those Martha Stewart towels and linens.
Mm-hmm. In an interview with Harper's Bazaar, Stewart says that her Kmart wares were so offensive to the fools at her Connecticut country club that she was asked to leave. It was because I was too down market, the mogul told the magazine.
That's insane. Like, you get kicked out of a country club for making too much money off the poor? Isn't that the whole point of this country?
It's exactly. I had something, but I said, you're not going to top what Cassandra just said, so put it back in the holster. Put her back.
By the way, like, when this, like, 1997, like, you know, Kmart was like a big deal. I mean, it's not Target, but like comparable to like Walmart for sure.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. The article also shed light on an earlier phase of Stewart's career when, prior to making her name in soft art, she was something of a Wall Street shark. We were the real thing. You saw the movie Wall Street? I lived it, she said. Fabulous.
I mean, every man on Wall Street was trying to get you. Every man was trying to touch you in the cab. We had martinis for lunch. In a particularly bizarre anecdote, Stewart noted that one of her colleagues locked women in his apartment for kinky reasons, and that led her to adopt one of these housebound women's cats. I adopted one of their cats because he wouldn't let her go home to feed the cat. So I got Magnolia. What the fuck? This is the best thing ever.
I just want to listen to Martha Stewart be interviewed for days.
Like, Martha Stewart's like, oh yeah, my cat Magnolia, I adopted her after her original owners became sex slaves to a Wall Street bro that I knew.
She also used to wear very short shorts. Her workout gear at the time, she wore velvet hot pants, short shorts, where you could see plenty of leg and a little bit of your butt, with an alligator belt and a tight sweater.
This is not her workout gear. This is her work wear.
I misread that. My goodness.
No, she straight up wore hot pants, a tight sweater, and an alligator belt with boots to work on Wall Street.
If there was ever any doubt that Martha Stewart was a real one, this profile will surely put that to rest.
I just can't. Like, this woman has lived so many lives.
Wow.
I love her. I just fucking love her. Our next story comes to us from the 90 Day Fiancé world, a world which I don't live in, but it's from people.com. Erica, please.
Evelyn storms out after Corey admits he met up with 90 Day Fiancé star Larissa.
Oh, shit.
Quick story. Evelyn is from Ecuador. Corey is the American. Corey chooses to go to Ecuador and live there. Evelyn doesn't want to marry Corey, but that's the only way he can stay and continue and have a work permit is to get married. Larissa is from Brazil and was originally with Colt. They divorced after their quick marriage. Larissa is now with Eric from the 90 Day Fiancé world and is continuing to get enhancements done to her body and has a great OnlyFans.
Okay, so these people like almost have like Bachelor Nation kind of vibes now. Like, they all just like are very incestuous.
Uh-huh.
Man, they got a lot of passports, because isn't that the whole point of this?
Mm-hmm.
So Corey admitted that he met up with this Larissa when him and Evelyn were on a break. And so she's mad about that because Larissa posted a picture on Instagram, Vegas, with her and Corey with hashtags like new couple alert and bae alert.
And all that.
So Evelyn said, fuck her. I hope she freaking explodes with all that Botox she has. I'm not going to do that to another woman. Never. Women stand by women.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, okay. So
this is basically just a plant for the show, 90 Day Fiancé Love Games.
Which is like Bachelor in Paradise.
Essentially, yeah.
TLC, you've done it again.
TLC is my Mecca. Sister Wives is back. and I could not be happier. I'm
Man.
living in the time of year where the Real Housewives of Atlanta and Sister Wives are on. And it's a beautiful little Venn diagram.
I caught one episode of Sister Wives in like a hotel room once, and I was like, him?
Exactly. Cody Brown. Him?
Okay, well, this is all your world. Do you have any thoughts?
I think it's pretty outrageous, and Larissa just wants to stir the pot and stay relevant. And Corey and Evelyn should break up, though. They 100% should not be together. She hates him. She hates him. And he gave up his entire life to go to Ecuador and start a bar with her on the beach.
I thought that the 90 Day Fiancé the other way, like version of the franchise, was like kind of nice because they were like legit in love.
Corey and Evelyn are 100% the least in love couple on the entire franchise.
Okay, sounds good. You heard it here.
She terrorizes him. And you know what else terrorizes people?
A gang of 100 feral chickens?
Absolutely.
According to wideopenpets.com, gang of 100 feral chickens terrorized town chasing joggers. Help!
Help! Chickens are chasing joggers and waking up a small town in the UK. Some say they're friendly, and others say that they're just noisy. The Channel Islands of Jersey have been having this problem for years.
So feral chickens run free, and the residents are getting tired of the noise at 4 a.m. They're pecking people's gardens during the summer, and it's chaos, according to a 2018 story from the BBC. So, man, these chickens have been around for a while. They were abandoned pets with no natural predators, and then they just kept breeding. We've talked about this kind of stuff here before with like alligators and parrots and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nature. Wow.
There have been 2 culls that have not addressed the large number of chickens running around.
We're dealing with very large numbers. The culls that happened were quite modest. We're in a situation where we've got animal lovers on one hand and we've got those experiencing the nuisance on the other. I can't pretend to sit here and say I have an answer to that, says Environment Minister John Young.
Young's department has received no fewer than 40 complaints this year alone regarding the unruly chickens. We have 2 roos and they are loud. I cannot imagine 100 chickens running around and roosting in trees. This is my fave story of the week as I love my chickens, but not everyone feels the same way about the ladies.
That is your opinion, or that is the opinion of the person who wrote this article?
That is from the article.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice.
I'm watching a season of Survivor where they win chickens as a reward, and this person let the chickens go. So, like, they had eggs, and then they could have killed the chickens for meat. And this one character loves the chickens too much and lets them go.
I mean, that's good television.
It was wonderful because we
Have
knew
you
it was
connected
gonna
with
happen.
Ashley yet about Survivor?
I have. Yes.
Okay, good. She's watching it too. Shout out to Ashley Snyder. She's the best.
Thank you for listening, Ashley.
I don't know if she does.
Yeah.
That's funny. I mean, does this sound like childhood, Erica? Sorry.
According to the LATimes.com, Kendall Jenner has a brand new tequila brand, and Twitter wants to know why.
Reality star Kendall Jenner's new tequila brand is leaving a bad taste in the mouths of many on social media. Earlier this week, the model and Keeping Up with the Kardashians heiress unveiled her 818 line of tequila named for the San Fernando Valley area code. Jenner grew up in the affluent suburb of Calabasas.
I was hoping you would read this next part in case I said one of the tequilas wrong.
That's funny. The collection includes 3 varieties: Añejo tequila, Reposado tequila, and Blanco tequila.
I would have nailed that just for the record, but I wanted to double check.
No, I get it. It felt like all of a sudden like more pressure on me for words that I've said 100 times. I'm like, Añejo.
I love our little behind the curtains peek into this podcast for the listeners.
I do too. Or under the dumpster lid.
under
I
the
don't know. We
dumpster
can
lid.
workshop that. For almost 4 years, I've been on a journey to create the best tasting tequila, Jenna wrote on Wednesday on social media. And after dozens of blind taste tests, trips to our distillery, entering into world tasting competitions anonymously, and winning, 3.5 years later, I think we've done it. This is all we've been drinking for the last year, and I can't wait for everyone else to get their hands on this to enjoy it as much as we do.
While many of Jenner's celebrity friends, including some of her famous sisters, swiftly celebrated her brand new product launch in the comments, the tequila did not go down well with others on social media. A number of Twitter users immediately took shots at Jenner, accusing her of appropriating Mexican culture while encouraging their followers to support family-owned Mexican tequila mezcal brands instead.
Okay, so Kendall Jenner's not the first non-Mexican person to own a tequila brand.
The Rock has one. So does Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston.
Is that tequila? I thought it was something else. And did you just call him Bryan Cranston?
Yes. Did I say that wrong?
It's Bryan Cranston.
Cranston. Great.
Hey, we're getting older and I'm not going to let it happen, okay? We cannot turn into Bryan Cranston people and just like start saying shit wrong and just letting it go. We're not there yet, Erica. We're not fucking there yet.
All right. I'm taking my beating. I'm taking it well.
Who's that guy from the show about meth? Bryan Cranston?
No. Here's 5 celebrity-owned tequilas. Michael Jordan has Concerco. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has Trimana. George Clooney has Casamigos. The Chainsmokers have Ha Ha Tequila. Santana has Casa Noble. Jimmy Buffett has Margaritaville.
I didn't realize that George Clooney owned Casa Robles. Is that what you said?
Casamigos.
Casamigos. Oh, what's Casa Robles? Is that just a place?
That's a Casa Robles is a like a wine country up in mid California.
Oh, whatever. I'm drunk.
Santa Barbara.
I've been drinking too much 818 tequila. You know, I think that was her mistake, is that she was like calling it 818 tequila.
Mm-hmm. Kendall Jenner starting a tequila brand with zero knowledge of Mexican culture and calling it 818 tequila is gentrification. The 818 does not claim Calabasas, tweeted Jenny Molina, a health justice advocate from the San Fernando Valley, which is home to many Mexican immigrants.
It could have been any other white woman from a wealthy area profiting off of Latinx culture. My point is, they claim the 818 when it benefits them, but did they claim what's real? Do they even know that the 818 has some of the poorest cities in LA, 15 miles northeast of Calabasas?
Several pointed out that in Spanish, the names of Jenner's tequila products don't make grammatical sense. For instance, the adjective blanco, meaning white, should come after the noun tequila that it is describing.
I'm laughing that Kendall Jenner spent 4 years making her tequila and the words are placed wrong, says Twitter user @Gaitolina. Wrote, "What the fuck is Blanco tequila, lol."
Reps for Jenner did not respond Friday to the Times request for comment.
Kardashian-Jenner squad has sparked many cultural appropriation scandals in the past. To name a few, Queen Bee, Kim Kardashian West's since rebranded kimono shapewear, and then Kylie Jenner had cornrows. Kim Kardashian had cornrows, and Khloe Kardashian had cornrows. I mean, there's got you 4 years. You didn't think to like do some focus groups on the fucking name?
Exactly. I don't think.
Oh well, what are you gonna do? Hard to keep up with those Kardashians. I mean, they're controversial figures. So if anything, maybe they did do focus groups and they said, let's fucking name it 818.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Calabasas was part of the 818.
Nor did I.
I'm an 818 girl. Did you know that?
Oh, I'm a 580 still, which is my home area code.
I know, but like I'm saying, like yeah, okay, that's fair because I do have an 818 phone number. But yeah, Burbank. But you know what? Growing up in Burbank, I wouldn't call it tequila 818.
Exactly.
Not quite Calabasas, but it's not Calabasas.
Uh-huh.
According to the New York Post.com, Columbia professor I do heroin regularly for work-life balance. Wonderful.
Okay, let's get into this. Carl Hart is a Columbia University professor of psychology and neuroscience. He chairs the psych department and has a fondness for heroin, not only as a subject of scholarly pursuit, but also as a substance for personal use.
At 54, the married father of 3 has snorted small amounts of heroin for as many as 10 days in a row and enjoyed it mightily, even if, as he recalls in his new book, Drug Use for Grown-Ups, Chasing Liberty in the Land of Fear, he's experienced mild withdrawal symptoms 12 to 16 hours after the last dose. That book title, Drug Use for Grown-Ups, Chasing Liberty in the Land of Fear. That's fucking amazing.
I mean, I'm all for decriminalizing all drugs and getting people into rehabilitation centers opposed to jails and prisons for drug use.
Or even safe, what are they called? It's like safe places for people to do drugs. They have them in Canada. For people who are just already addicted to drugs, they have a safe clinic to just do the drugs so that if they accidentally overdose, there are medical staff like on call to save them.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't many things in life that I enjoy more than a few lines by the fireplace at the end of the day, he writes, pointing out that the experience leaves him refreshed and prepared to face another day.
He compares it to wine drinking and other, liquor's a form of drugs.
As I rationalize my alcohol use, like vacation, sex, and the arts, heroin is one of the tools that I use to maintain my work-life balance. Who's he writing this for? Us or his wife?
Yeah. Who needs to hear this?
Honey, did you do heroin again? We're about to see my parents. It's for my book!
That is the scariest one to me out of all the drugs.
Yeah, that's the one where, like, if it was around, it'd be like, how the fuck did you even get heroin?
Yeah. I wouldn't know how to, I would not know how to go about obtaining H. I just wouldn't.
H. What's the hardest drug that you think if you really tried, you could get your hands on?
I could get acid in less than 2 phone calls, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay, wait. We'll play like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, but with drugs. But we won't name any names, of course.
Of course not.
Okay, how many calls can you get until you get cocaine? I think I can get it in 1.
I can get it in 1, I think. Yeah.
Acid, I think I can definitely get mushrooms in 1.
Okay.
I can get mushrooms in a text message, I bet.
Yeah.
Acid, that one might take 2, maybe 1. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It gets harder. Like it'd probably take 3 to get meth.
Oh, yeah. It would take calls back east.
Oh,
I feel like geographically here it would take 3 to 4 phone calls. Back home, I could do it in probably 1.
Ooh, okay. And then ketamine, maybe 3?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, 3 to 4. That would be hard.
Prescription opiates.
Oh, 1.
To my doctor.
To my doctor. Yeah.
I mean, that's heroin.
It really is. It really is. I try to be so careful after, surgeries or things like that when they do prescribe them to me. I try to be so careful with like rationing them because I don't
touch them. I just I'm like, I haven't been in that much pain yet to feel like ibuprofen wasn't enough.
I know that like addiction can run in my family, so I just try to really limit it.
Well, maybe you should read Drug Use for Grown-Ups, Chasing Liberty in the Land of Fear.
You're right. And that was all for entertainment purposes. Cassandra and I would have to take many phone calls to access any drugs.
Oh my God. Yeah, like literally. Like I one phone call where I'm like crying. I'm really sorry. I'm even asking you for this. I don't even. No, never mind. That's how many phone calls it would take for me to get any drugs. I really don't do drugs. Damn, do I like alcohol though? Ooh.
Oh, I love me some alcohol.
Fuck me up.
Love me. I'm like a wine mommy without the t-shirts. You know what I mean?
Ooh, a wine mommy without the t-shirts.
Like, I don't have a live, laugh, love lacquer anywhere in my house, but, like, that's where I am with my level of consumption of alcohol wine.
Oh. Yeah. I'm like drinking the amount of beer that someone would drink who probably has like too many hats, but I don't have hats.
Uh-huh.
That makes
Uh-huh.
sense?
Uh-huh.
Hats and maybe kind of like some funky hair. But like, like, like oh, I'm going to go to this beard contest after this. Like that's how much beer I'm drinking. A beard contest. I'm drinking that much beer. So cool. Now I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
It better be a wine mommy t-shirt. Speaking of mommies and daddies and children and education, the entire school board resigns after members are caught mocking parents on a live stream.
This is according to the New York Times, which, not to brag, is a website that I subscribe to. Unaware of their conversation being public, the trustees in Oakley, California suggested that parents eager for schools to reopen merely wanted their babysitters back.
The article says, uh-oh. That was what one of the board members in charge of an elementary and middle schools in Oakley, California, uttered Wednesday when she realized her online conversation with other members had been broadcast to the public.
If you scroll down, I have the conversation. So it's three members, Kim Bede, Richie Mercedes, and Erica Ippolito. They said in a statement that they deeply regret the comments and that they were resigning to help facilitate the healing process. But I think we should just read the conversation. I'm happy to play the role of Miss Bede if you'd like to play the role of all the other ones.
Okay.
So this is to set the scene. I am complaining about a woman who lashed out at me on social media, cursing and suggesting that, she would go after her critic physically, or I'm suggesting that I would go after this person physically. Sorry, that's just me.
They just want to pick on us because they want their babysitters back. I totally hear that.
And then she goes on to describe how, her brother had a delivery service for medical marijuana.
The clientele were parents with kids in this school, he said, as the board members laughed.
And then me, Miss Bede, we have the meeting open to the public right now.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, huh?
Nuh-uh.
Oops. Yeah, huh?
If you've ever seen a journalist flip through an AP guide with like how articles are supposed to be written, it's the Affiliated Press, it's the word god when it comes to journalism. Somebody had to look up how to write out nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh. That's also like just the best like reaction. Like, sorry, move over, Shaggy. Just say it wasn't you. Just go, nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
This is live right now. Nuh-uh. No. I don't think that they all had to resign. Is that bad?
I feel like they were going to get a lot of shit and not get anything done if they didn't.
But now they have no board.
They can appoint an emergency board, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good then. Because, I mean, you could just apologize and be like, yeah, that was fucking dumb. Like, the pandemic's been hard for us all. Not an excuse, but, we did. I don't know. We're just talking shit. You never talk shit?
You never talk shit? Your kids talk shit.
They talk shit? You potheads?
You potheads. That's wild. Oh my goodness. Like, my fear is that somehow my private conversations will be broadcast.
We have brought this up multiple times on Trashy Trashy. When you're on Zoom, make sure your camera's off and make sure you're fucking muted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in this, instance, make sure that you're not live yet. Should we get into our next story?
Absolutely. You know what I love on a hot summer's day?
What do you love?
I just love to get into some ice cream.
What if someone else has already licked it?
What?
According to the PhoenixNewTimes.com, licking ice cream that others might buy in a store is now a crime in Arizona.
Disgusting food or drink challenges like putting licked ice cream back in a store freezer could result in jail time for some people in Arizona following Doug Ducey's signing of a Thursday of a new anti-tampering law.
State Senator TJ Shope said last year when he introduced a similar bill existing statutes?
Statutes.
Statutes? What is a statute?
Like an existing law.
Oh, okay, tight. Well, it made it difficult to prosecute people for contaminating store food or drink. That proposal didn't make it, but this year's version found bipartisan support because nobody fucks with ice cream.
The bill, SB 1167, passed with 2/3 support in the Senate and nearly unanimous support in the House, 56-3, with one member not voting. Who is the holdout?
They probably were just busy that day because I think, and also who's the three that were like, no, it shouldn't be illegal to, open a ice cream thing and lick it.
Yeah, like my constituents have told me they love licking ice cream in stores.
This is like gross. You can't, that's so yucky. I mean, these challenges, but I guess internet.
What? I guess the internet. I
don't know.
The internet.
I guess internet. I don't know. I like dance challenges. I don't like being a piece of shit challenges,
Remember planking?
Yeah.
That was so hot at one point.
Do you remember the Harlem Shake?
Uh-huh.
One of the best.
It
was just fun. Fun to watch that.
Turned down for what? That was also pretty fun. Let's get into our next story from yahoonews.com.
A woman. Oh, you know what? I want to do this one like a newscaster because it made me laugh. Will you just rile me in with something very local newsy, Erica? Something like that. Let's workshop it.
We're now going to cut to our special correspondent in the field, Cassandra Cardenas.
Hi, Erica. I'm in Edinburgh right now, and a woman has bit off a man's tongue during a street brawl, and a seagull has flown off with it.
Oh my goodness, Cassandra! Just to confirm. On our end, what we're hearing here in the booth is that the seagull flew off with the tongue.
Yes, so in a violent brawl between this man and woman, she kissed him, bit off a piece of his tongue. Someone spit it out. One of the two, we're still getting the details, and then a seagull did end up flying down and taking the tongue elsewhere.
And do we have an identity on the woman?
Yeah, the woman's identified as Bethany Ryan, and the man who now is, missing a piece of his tongue is James McKenzie. I don't know how she snuck in the kiss during the fight. That's really what I'm trying to figure out. By the way, this took place in August 2019. We're just covering it now because this is when they've gone to court.
That's Cassandra in the field. Thank you so much, Cassandra. We'll be back with weather at 11.
They were getting in a fight, so she kissed him on the lips during the course of the fight, and then bit through his tongue.
How do you go from fighting to kissing?
I don't know, but that's a baller move.
Yeah, that's like something out of a Street Fighter movie.
It's very assaulty for sure,
Yeah.
On different levels. You shouldn't try to kiss someone when they're fighting you, but I don't know. I mean, because to me it sounds like they were in a fight, and then she's like, you know what? Let's bygones be bygones. Come, give me a kiss. And he was like, okay. And then she was like, Huff. Nothing is bygones. Fuck you.
After the incident, Mackenzie was taken to the hospital, but the reattachment surgery could not be performed as a piece of the tongue was not recovered.
Hey, trash cans, leave people's body parts alone.
Mm-hmm.
We don't like that.
Mm-mm. I don't even like it when people hug up people without their consent anymore.
Yeah. I was watching Austin Powers last night, the first one. Definitely a couple moments where there's some laughs. I think the second one is probably the funniest one. He was pretty aggressive with Miss Kensington in the beginning. She didn't want to sleep with him. Well, I mean, I guess she did technically with all the glances that she would shoot him after, but he was that element to it didn't age awesome. Although when she got too drunk on their, date, he wouldn't kiss her or sleep with her.
Yeah.
So, the moral compass was somewhere in there.
So you know how we think of Pepe Le Pew as French?
Uh-huh.
Because they are. In France, Pepe Le Pew is Italian.
Okay.
So what we think of the French, our stereotypes of the French are what the French think of the Italians. Isn't that interesting?
Yes. I never
Austin
thought of
Powers reminds me of Pepe Le Pew in his persistence.
Okay, because I don't watch Pepe Le Pew and go, damn French. Like I didn't know that we were trying to make it like that was a French stereotype, Pepe Le Pew. I thought it was just like a really aggressive skunk.
Who knows what racism the original animators had in their hearts?
Only they do.
It was the 50s. All the racism.
Yeah, holy guacamole. This next story is fucking crazy.
100%.
According to the SACB.com, a California doctor performed surgery while appearing at video traffic court appointment.
The world of video conferencing and remote work has taken strange turns during the pandemic, with the foibles of faulty technology or the simply bizarre on the view.
Yeah, see, we had Lawyer Cat, which is the Texas lawyer who found himself transformed into a virtual kitten in front of the judge, which was so much fun for everybody. And then there was, obviously a lot of people losing their jobs because they can't stop masturbating. But this feels intentional.
The Northern California plastic surgeon who showed up to his trial on Thursday afternoon via video conference surprised Sacramento judge by going live from his operating room.
Amid the whirs and beeps of medical machinery, the sound of suction, and the bright glow of surgical lamps, Scott Green appeared before Sacramento Superior Court Commissioner Gary Link's virtual courtroom at the Carroll Miller Justice Center, donning his surgical scrubs, ready to proceed, the patient undergoing the procedure just out of view.
Hello, Mr. Green, are you available for trial? Asked a courtroom clerk. It kind of looks like you're in the operating table right now.
I am, sir, Green replied. Yeah, I'm in the operating room right now, but I'm available for trial. Go ahead.
Traffic trials are required by law to be open to the public. With limited access to courtrooms due to ongoing coronavirus pandemic, Sacramento Superior Court proceedings are live streamed and posted to YouTube.
So Green wasn't fazed. With his head down, he continued to work, but the judge was not amused, even as the commissioner tried to absorb what he was seeing on the monitor.
So unless I'm mistaken, I'm seeing a defendant that's in the middle of an operating room appearing to be actively engaged in providing services to a patient. Is that correct, Mr. Green? Or should I say Dr. Green? Link asked over the sounds of suction and beep, beep, beep of medical devices. I do not feel comfortable for the welfare of your patient if you're in the process of operating that I would put a trial notwithstanding the fact the officer is here today, the commissioner said.
Green assured Link that all was well. Another surgeon is working beside me. I have another surgeon right here who's doing the surgery with me, so I can stand here and allow them to do the surgery also.
I don't think so. I don't think that's appropriate, Link said. I'm going to come up with a different date when you're not actively involved or participating and attending the needs of a patient. Let me see if I can get a different date here.
So they start apologizing. Well, the doctor starts apologizing, and the judge is like, "Yeah, it happens. It is what it is." Like, but obviously, like, it's like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed, or like, I'm just trying to end this. But like, what the fuck was this guy thinking?
Yeah. And can you imagine if this man wasn't white? The judge would have thrown him in contempt, probably. You know what I'm saying? This reeks of privilege to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, look, traffic court sucks. Nobody wants to go. I mean, I'm not putting on my best clothes for traffic court. I'm going in, I'm getting my shit, and I'm leaving. So I understand feeling a little bit of like fuck off towards traffic court. But like, this is like, I would feel like only a plastic surgeon would do this. I don't know, but like, I just feel like there's so many weird kind of dentists and plastic surgeons seem to have these weird stories come out about them. They're kind of the rebels of the medical field.
Are you saying they're perhaps not important type of doctors?
No, I am not saying that whatsoever. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just saying that, like,
the renegades of the medical field.
A plastic surgeon, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not trying to come for them right now. I'm just saying that I just think it's funny that, like, this is like a plastic surgeon. Like, he must own his own practice and think, oh, I can get away with this. Like, I'm the boss here.
Well, the Medical Board of California, in a statement Friday, said that it would look into the incident, saying that it expects physicians to follow the standard of care when treating their patients.
And I only said dentist because we did that story once about that one dentist who was going around on a fucking hoverboard from room to room.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, we make a lot of shows about Grey's Anatomy and like in the hospital, but I think that the real show is in these people who own their own private practices, which was, I guess, a spinoff of Grey's Anatomy. So I don't know what the Erica,
Well,
what did you have for breakfast this morning?
I had a donut,
Ooh.
a Boston cream-filled donut.
Holy shit. That's dope. From where?
From California Donuts.
Oh my God. That's like the best place to get donuts, in my opinion.
SK's and California Donuts are the place in Southern California.
Yeah, for real.
What'd you have for breakfast?
I got a breakfast burrito. Yeah. My boyfriend went to go take the dogs to the dog park. And before he left, well, he took them, but then I got a call being like, hey, come downstairs first. And I was like, okay. And then I got a breakfast burrito. It was like sick. And I don't know. I think that that's good. Well, I guess she had a donut. So my the point is that according to WBALTV.com, a nutritionist says that pizza is better for breakfast than most cereals, and it's because of their sugar content. I was going to say, well, we had pretty healthy breakfasts, it sounds like, compared to cereal, but I don't know if donut works.
Donut takes the cake. Pizza may have more fat, but it has less sugar. Thus, Chelsea Ammer, MS, R&D, CDN, tells the Daily Meal you'll have a better chance of avoiding sugar crash later on.
You might be surprised to find out that the average slice of pizza and a bowl of cereal with whole milk contain nearly the same amount of calories.
Amir, who is based in New York, adds that that pizza also has more protein.
Because of that, your appetite will be more satisfied and you're likely to avoid snacking. So I get made fun of a lot because I love a savory breakfast to a point where like sometimes I'll just wake up and make soup.
Oh, do you like an English breakfast, like with the beans and toast?
No, but mostly because I never had one. But when I was in London, I was like, that doesn't look very good. But I can do like a corn chowder in the morning.
Ooh, I like Indian food for breakfast in the morning. Like if we have leftover Indian food, I'm like, yes, breakfast.
There was speaking of London, there's an Indian place in London that like apparently has like the best breakfasts, and I wanted to go, but we were too late, and so it was like lunch, which it had a fucking sick lunch too. But like they're like, go to this Indian place for breakfast. It's the best. So I guess what I'm saying is we should go to London to have breakfast.
We should absolutely go to London to have breakfast.
We'll go to this Indian place, and then we'll also get an English breakfast somewhere.
Yeah. We'll do it up big. We'll do a tour. We do have listeners in jolly old England and the UK.
Cheerio. Cheers for listening.
I've been working on my Scottish accent for those who listen regularly, and a few episodes ago I could only do an Australian accent when I was trying to think of Scotland.
Do you want to try again? Do you want to introduce, why don't you introduce the dumpster fire but as Scottish?
All right, I'm up to the challenge. Okay. It's time for the dumpster fire of the week. Meghan McCain wants Fauci replaced with someone who understands the science.
That's great. And where's this from? What's our source?
I've been watching Drag Race UK, and my favorite drag queen is Lawrence Chaney, and they're from Scotland.
Okay.
And I've been just listening to their melodic voice over and over again, and it clicked with me.
I'm proud of you. That was great.
Thank you so much. You know who I'm not proud of?
Meghan McCain?
The Princess of Arizona.
So according to RollingStone.com, which I believe is a website that you pay for.
On accident.
I'm I'm over Dr. Fauci, the View host railed.
She says, I want him replaced with someone who understands science.
The fact that I, Meghan McCain, co-host of The View, don't know when or how I will be able to get the vaccine because the rollout for my age range and my health is so nebulous, I have no idea when and how I can get it. I want to get it.
The View co-host came under her delusional conclusion during a rant on Monday where she railed about all things related to coronavirus vaccines, including her inability to get one. McCain played a video clip of Fauci, the head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, being noncommittal about whether or not it was safe for those who have been vaccinated to gather with those who have not. Fauci told CNN that the federal health officials as a unit set such guidelines.
I don't want to be making a Oh, sorry, that's Meghan McCain's voice. I'm doing Fauci. Hold on. I don't have a Fauci impersonation. I don't want to be making a recommendation now on public TV. We want to sit down with the team and take a look at that.
A frustrated McCain then went on in the doctor, rattling off complaints about terrible, inconsistent messaging, saying that Fauci can't tell when or if she can get a vaccine.
The fact that Dr. Fauci's going on CNN, he can't tell me if I can get the vaccine and if I'll be able to have dinner with my family or dinner with... I don't have any grandparents left, but older people. If I can go to dinner at friends' houses who are older, it's terribly inconsistent messaging, and it continues to be inconsistent messaging.
I just can't stand the Princess of Arizona. I just can't.
I saw an Instagram post, and I'm going to try to find it, but if I can't, I'm sorry. But it's from one of the gay Instagrams that I follow, and it shows her hairstyles.
Uh-huh.
And it was this is gay sabotage, and I love it because it's
yes.
Her hair is almost too crazy.
It's she's taken a swing. She's taken a big swing.
I mean, she's not a particularly popular View host in general, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct.
But they always make sure that one person on there is doesn't agree with everyone else.
Yeah, that was it Elizabeth Hasselhoff previously?
I don't know. But I mean, that's the whole, she's doing her job by being this fucking dumb. But Meghan, most of us in this age range don't know when we're going to get the vaccine rollouts. That has nothing to do with Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, that's a state rollout. Every state's
Cuomo.
handling it differently.
Yeah. No, I mean, ask Cuomo how you're going to get it. Don't come for Fauci. You're just trying to gain Republican points because Republicans, for some reason, don't like Dr. Fauci.
It's we're in this ever-evolving thing, and messaging's going to change as we're learning more information.
Yeah, this is brand new. So everything that they're oh, he said this and now he's saying this. It's yeah, he doesn't know. He's doing his best in giving information as he gets it. Would you rather hear nothing? And that's a genuine question, actually. Would you rather have heard nothing or and wait until you get all the facts? Because I don't know, that's a weird scenario. If he wasn't telling anybody anything, then Corona probably would have been a lot worse.
100%. 100%. And also, I understand the View needing to have a counterpoint or a point, depending on your point of, reference. But I just feel like Meghan McCain's the worst of the conservative talking points.
I mean, I don't think that anyone should be fucking with vaccines for ratings, to be honest.
Yes.
And she's doing it in a way that sounds well, I don't know when I'm supposed to get it, and I don't even know if it's going to make me safe, to eat with my family, but I still want it. So she's she can claim that she's not discouraging people to get the vaccine because she still wants it, but she's still loudly having her angry look, everyone has that question. Everyone has that question, but not everyone is on daytime television or calling for the removal of Fauci because of it. It's take a breath, do some internet research, and just wait.
My favorite meme right now is, I think it's a New Yorker cartoon, and guy's on the internet, and he goes, "Honey, I found something that all the doctors and scientists missed. Come look."
Yeah, totally. Like, she's just too much. I mean, and by the way, the United States is, I guess we've given out more vaccines than any other country in the world, and given a first dose the higher percentage of its population than all of 5 countries. Because other countries are rolling it out where they're just giving everyone a first dose and dealing with the second one later. But now our country has decided to no, we need to make sure we have enough second doses. I don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong. The point is, I'm glad that people are getting vaccinated. Like I said, take a breath, do some research. This is almost over.
It's so close to being over.
Just be good. Listen to Trashy. That's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do. Tell a friend. Cassandra, I'm sad to say that we did not reach 100 reviews in the month of February.
That's, what are you going to do? We weren't meant to get lip injections, but I think we were both pretty scared. And actually, what was it? We got an Instagram comment from one of the guys from Whack Brackets saying that that made him want to take his review back because he doesn't want us to get lip injections.
Mike, don't wish that poison on us.
Come on. We just want to do it. We want to see. So it's fine. I knew it was a long shot. It was a shortened month. That being said, I do hope that you still go and review our podcast if you haven't yet, because it really helps us out. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Are you hoarding anything this week?
Yeah. So I mentioned that I went to the OC this last weekend just for like a little day trip out of town. And I stumbled across a brewery that I guess is like popular. I don't know. I'd never fucking seen them before, but apparently they get sold in shops. So it's called Chapman Brewery, Chapman, Chapman. It's good fucking beer. It's really good. They have a good Pilsner. They have a really yummy sour. They've got good IPAs. I just not getting paid for this. Just we ended up buying a lot of beer from them, and we're gonna have a picnic in the park when you and I are done, and I'm looking forward to drinking more of it. So I am hoarding this Chapman beer. What are you hoarding?
I am hoarding an article that came out in the Hollywood Reporter called "The Guru of Toluca Lake."
OMG.
And it's a story about an acting coach in Los Angeles and the cult-like environment that she cultivated within her students. And as somebody that thinks that this industry is completely predatory and it's hard work and luck to make it, it's absolutely wild.
Yeah, I mean, I can't find a better word for it because this is an internet, so you're really scrolling, but this is a page turner, this article. Mm-hmm. It's good.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to give too many details about it, but it's pretty great. And it's told through, multiple students' eyes. It's real good.
Cool.
Are you throwing anything away?
Yes. And it shouldn't affect this podcast, and I'm certainly not trying to start a coastal war, especially because I live in LA, but I'm throwing out the LA Times.
Boom!
We all know I subscribe to the New York Times, and it's not necessarily because I think that the New York Times is a more reputable website, but I think whomever writes the headlines for the LA Times and then they repost these things on social media, these headlines are fucking crazy. So they've got headlines like coronavirus spreads readily in gyms when people don't wear masks. Fucking doy, LA Times. Like, this is what people are subscribing to? Or California's coronavirus strain looks increasingly dangerous. The devil is already here. That headline made a lot of doctors mad. And it's a scary fucking headline. Mm-hmm. I just think, look, we do trashy news stories. So, like, I'm aware of how stupid I sound. But, like, I don't like clickbaity, scary sounding headlines, especially as it pertains to COVID. I don't think that's safe. I don't think it's productive. I mean, Meghan McCain is another example of it, but LA Times, you need to get your shit together because I'm tossing you the fuck out right now.
Damn, I don't pay for the LA Times.
I don't either. And I was going to once we started doing this podcast. I was like, I should start, subscribing to more of these. And then I started following LA Times on Instagram and I was like, never mind. I really don't like this. Like, I follow LA Mag and a couple other ones, and they also have some trashy headlines with how they talk about it. But it's like, I feel like you can get away with it because it's like, you're just LA Magazine. Like, whatever. Like, if you're the Los Angeles Times, you need to hold yourself to higher journalistic standards, please.
Agreed. 100%.
What are you throwing out?
I'm throwing out the Netflix true crime documentary, Crime Scene, The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel.
Oh, really?
It's, as somebody that's been following this case from its beginning, like I remember when it was happening, I feel like the Netflix sensationalizes the internet sleuthers and conspiracy theory and does not do justice to the memory and the person that she was. And
shit, we weren't having this. I was just having this conversation with someone else that they were telling me about this, that they had big issues and they were very similar to this.
Elisa Lam deserved a better documentary about their life, is what I'll say. It's just kind of shitty. And it's like, it looks like it was made very quickly at the same time. And I'm like, you're Netflix. You've got the money.
Yeah. Well, I'll skip that one. I'm not a big true crime person, but I'll definitely skip that one. I'll skip that one even harder than I would just skip them normally.
Good. Where can the people find you, Cass?
You can find me at Cass Cardenas on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me every Tuesday night on the Nooner podcast on the Smodcast Radio Network. Where do they find you?
At Iconic Erica Curry and on Instagram, and at Gillygal on Twitter, where I just make some goof 'em ups. I just do silly bits.
Sure. Your Twitter's fun.
I love a tweet. I love a Twitter.
Oh, you know what? I don't know the air date yet, but if you check your local listings on the CW, there's a television program called All American. I am on episode 10 of season 3. We're in season 3 right now. I think episode 7 just came out. I don't know. I'll give you guys more information, but you can watch me in an upcoming episode of All American on CW.
That's awesome.
Start plugging that one now. Hey, thanks.
I will record it.
Do you have cable?
Uh-huh.
Sick.
We have AT&T where you can record, like, it's like DVR, but it's basically a cable package.
Tight.
Yeah, it's great. You can find this podcast at Trashy Trashy Pod at Instagram and Twitter. And you can always email us at trashytrashypodcast@gmail.com. Tell us why you are trash, or send in a listener story and we will read it.
Yeah, we love when you guys send stuff in.
It truly warms my heart when I have to do an ounce less research for this podcast.
Oh, no. You know what, though? Is it one of the guys from my other podcast, Nooner? He sent me a sideways iPhone picture of something from a textbook for us to cover. So to John, send in better. Submit better. It's a funny little story about mongooses, but like it's hard to read, and that's requiring more research on my part.
Which we're not going to do.
No, but we love you, John, and thanks for listening.
Hey, Cass.
What's going on, girl?
Stay garbage.
You stay garbage. You.
I will.
Okay.
You.
You.
Bye.
Bye.